Bedard, and the results have been spectacular. Bedard has points in 6 consecutive periods.
It takes good players to play with great players, and while everyone likes to pay attention to Connor Bedard, he's not out there by himself. His line mates have been really good in supporting him in his quest to break all these records and score all these goals. Think about Joshua Waugh, so smart positionally, good defensively, tremendous passer to a couple guys who really like to shoot. You got Logan Stankoven, excellent on the face-off, so they start with the puck an awful lot. Got a nose from the net himself so he can finish his own plays, and he's really dogged and getting puck backs, which again helps facilitate offensive players like Connor Bedard. Yes, it's easy to get lost in the Connor Bedard show, but there are important pieces that he has to play with, talented pieces that'll be pivotal to having success against a better team like Sweden.
Canada-Sweden's a great international hockey rivalry, but not one we've seen very often at this level. They've not met since the gold medal game 5 years ago, and tonight's game just the 4th time they played each other in the last 13 World Junior Hockey Championships. James?
All right, guys, thank you. And yes, that first time since 2018, which is really rare at the World Juniors for two contenders to take so long to play each other again. Czechia beat Germany earlier, 8-1 if you missed it. So if Canada wins in regulation, they will finish second. They cannot win the group tonight. If Sweden wins, they will win the group. So it's down to this. It was really complicated when the day started, but now it's simple. If Canada wins in regulation, they'll finish second. They'll play Slovakia, who finished third on the other side. Any other result, so a Canada OT win, a Canada shootout win, or any Sweden win, Canada will finish third, and they will play second place Finland in the quarterfinals. So those are the stakes tonight. So after a sloppy loss, 2 lopsided wins, is tonight the night we really find out what this Canadian team's all about?
This is my favorite part of the tournament, James. The Laffer games are over to some real competition, and you really get to see what these kids are all about. I love watching them go out there, and can they perform when the stakes get higher and everything's a little bit stingy out there, and it's a bit of a pressure cooker, and that goes for Connor Bedard too. You mentioned Eberle, the big-time goals that he scored and the importance of them, overtime winners, game winners, and real important situations. I don't think he'll shy away from it. Connor Bedard, he'll be big in big moments for Canada.
And a reminder, he's tied with Eberle for the all-time career goals record for Canada. One more, and he will break the record at 15. Goaltending matchup's huge. Lindblom has been terrific for Sweden, and Thomas Milic, a big start for Canada, Bob.
You know, as good as Czechia's offense was in Boxing Day against Team Canada, this Swedish offense has so much more potential. 7 first-round picks amongst their forwards. Thomas Milic will have to be on top of his game.
Lindblom with a .974 save percentage, a goals against average, just over a half a goal a game. Here comes Team Canada for New Year's Eve against Sweden. Canada practiced briefly yesterday. We're focusing on defensive zone coverage. Cheryl, what's critical for the D tonight against these talented Swedes?
Well, it's going to come in the offensive zone in terms of their defensive posture. They're going to have to be high above the puck. What I mean by that is when the puck turns over, they have to be able to transition, track back, and allow those big defenders to stand up at the blue line. When they do get into Canada's D zone, they're going to have to find a way to be strong and heavy below the goal line. Of course, in front of the net, along the wall with quick, close support, James, because they want to be able to get that puck with motion out. So it's 3 layers of defense, and you know that this is a Swedish team that is going to be heavy and hard on the puck.
Canada power play has been terrific so far. 7 goals against Germany, 11 for 16 overall. New Year's Eve, really special for international hockey, mostly now because of the World Juniors. But remember, the tradition started 47 years ago, that amazing game between the Montreal Canadiens and Soviet Red Army, one of the greatest games ever played. Let's hope we can get another classic tonight. Gordon, MJ.
Thank you, James. Good evening from Halifax. It's the 6th day of the 2023 World Junior Hockey Championship, the final game of the preliminary round. And in this red and white cauldron in Halifax tonight, it is Canada against Sweden in the New Year's Eve game. The officials are Michael Cherik from Switzerland, Anssi Salonen from Finland. The referees, Brandon Grillo and Ani Hotamaki, are the linesmen. Starting in goal for the Swedes, Carl Lindbom, a 19-year-old, plays for Djurgården in the Swedish Junior League. He's a Vegas 7th-round pick, the 222nd pick out of 224 players taken in his draft year. And for Canada, 19-year-old Thomas Milic, the Coquitlam, BC native, plays for Seattle in the Western Hockey League. A 9-19 save percentage there this year. Magnus Havlin, the head coach of the Swedish team, former assistant with their national junior program. And Dennis Williams, first time coaching the national junior team, the head coach and general manager of Everett of the Western Hockey League. This is the game they came to see. Canada in black, Sweden in its traditional gold, and Canada's the home team.
Okay guys, have a good game. Enjoy it. Be strong.
And here we go. Owen Zellweger plays it back to center ice to Dylan Gunther, and Gunther works his way in. Gunther, long shot, Lindbom saves, rebound, and Shane Wright reaching for that. Wright plays that back to Del Mastro, and a long shot by Zellweger floats wide. Brennan Hoffman tries to work that break, and knocked down by Victor Sjöholm. He got crunched there by Wright. Sjöholm back with it, and now Hoffman's got him lined up, but peels off on a change. Loose puck in front, knocked down. Stankoven comes in. And Isak Rosean plays that rink wide. Canada has scored first in all 3 games so far. Pass it center right to Joshua Waugh. Pokes it across to Stankoven. In comes Stankoven as Bedard comes off the bench. Stankoven works it back in the corner. Stankoven stays on it, drops it back. Here's a chance. Clark with a shot. Rebound. Bedard chucks it back. They score! Joshua Waugh! And Canada's got the lead. 57 seconds in.
Start for Canada. Come out buzzing into the offense zone, banging around, and this fake pass for Connor Bedard. Everyone thinks he's going to tee up this one-timer from the short side, but he kicks it back to Joshua Waugh, to Lindbom, diving back to seal the post, and now he's got to overreact back to the middle, and that is a heck of a shot from Joshua Waugh. Cross-body right under the bar, and this top line clicks again to start the game for Canada.
It's got the CHL Player of the Year in Stankoven, the CHL's leading scorer from last year in Waugh, and Connor Bedard, who's going to be the first pick in the upcoming NHL draft. Now brought in by Noah Ostlund for Sweden, and Milic blows that and hangs on. That's now points, by the way, in 7 consecutive periods for Connor Bedard.
I mean, it all starts with a wide drive by Stankoven, keeping this puck alive, fighting off the check with Delius. And that allows everyone to jump up. Sweden starts scrambling, chasing pucks, getting down in front of the net. Everyone's playing goal, and slap pass, and maybe even better finish from Joshua Waugh.
Ostlund off the face-off win, plays it back for Elias Pettersson. That rattles high off the glass. Pettersson, a 3rd-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks. Ostlund, a shot that goes high, and Milic with the blocker knocks that out of play.
And part of the challenge for Canada is to use this crowd, which is teeming with emotion and energy.
Every section looks like a team picture.
It's a beautiful sight if you're playing for Team Canada, but not have it, but play under control. And finding that edge was always a challenge, but so far they've started beautifully.
Sweden opened with an 11-0 win over Austria, then beat Germany in a nail-biter 1-0, and a 3-2 overtime win against Czechia. Chipped ahead by Korchinski, but that's knocked down. A chance now for Wagner. Throws it back in front. That's picked off by Wright. The captain got bumped there by Sternborg, but it's moved back out. Rink-wide pass. Looking for Hoffman. He's tied up by Pettersson. And Pettersson takes Hoffman in hard, but he makes the play for Wright. At the line, it's held. Korchinski fired it wide. Bouncing puck in front. And Lindbom hangs on to that. Hoffman in there battling. He gets thrown down. There's going to be a penalty here.
They're going to be Sternborg for coming in late. Both referees put their arms up at the same time right when Sternborg, the captain of Sweden, comes in to clear Hoffman out at the tail end of the scrum. And they talked about the importance of not taking penalties against Canada.
Number 2, Team Sweden, 2 minutes, roughing.
Pettersson for roughing.
Hoffman gets in the corner forward checking, battling in front, and it's hard to pick just one guy out of this. I guess it's that last pop in the mouth from Pedersen that gets it. And so here comes Canada's power play. 11 of 16, 69% in the tournament.
Dylan Guenther leads the way for Canada. All 4 of his goals in the tournament have been scored on the power play. Wright, Hoffman, Bedard, Guenther the forwards. Zellweger on the back end. Wright wins the faceoff cleanly, back to Zellweger. Drops it down to Bedard, rink wide pass for Guenther, back to Zellweger, his shot, that deflected wide. Schoholm had it knocked away, Hoffman back on it, but the rolling puck is fired down the ice by Adam Engstrom.
Been a consistent pattern early in the first power play. Canada shoots everything quickly to the front of the net, trying to soften up the coverage.
In comes Bedard, tied for the Canadian all-time goal-scoring lead with 14. Right, centering pass, power play goal, it's 2-0.
And that's why you don't take penalties against Canada. They can burn you in so many ways, off the rush. Connor Bedard on the entry draws so many guys to him, and then to the back door. What a feed right through the seam to Brennan Hoffman, who gets his first of the tournament. Oh, right by the stick of Pedersen, right by the foot of O'Delius. What a feed from Shane Wright. Seeing eye pass, apparently, and it's 2-0 Canada, barely 2 minutes into the game.
Jack Mateer plays out ahead. Here's Fantilli back with it. Adam Fantilli, rink wide. Del Mastro bumps out ahead, but the puck went off that curved stanchion of the Swedish bench, and play is called. So the Swedes now have to reel it back in after Canada strikes with 2 quick ones.
And Canada takes whatever you give them on the power play. Whether it's a setup, we see them score off the rush here. They don't hesitate. O'Delius has got his stick right near the goaltender's crease because he's worried about Bedard, who had drifted back door, instead of in that passing lane, which opened up for Shane Wright to put it right on the tape of Hoffman, who's rewarded for standing in front and getting pelted by all those point shots throughout the tournament so far with his first.
Long shooting, stuffed by Lindblom, off the stick of Fantilli. And so Connor Bedard, we mentioned, tied for the all-time goal-scoring lead, is now moving up another list. He's 2 points behind Eric Lindros for the most points ever by a Canadian player at the World Junior Hockey Championship. Lindros played in 3 World Juniors in 90, 91, and 92 in the old round-robin format. Bedard playing in his second. And on his dad's birthday, Connor Bedard has 2 points here in the first period. Del Mastro plays it back down to Gaucher. Zach Ostapchuk moving up on this line. And Beestead moved by him. All hands on deck for the Swedes in this game. They had a couple of players unavailable for the last game. Leo Carlson left after the warm-up, couldn't play. And then Fabian Lysell, after the first period, left. They've had a bug like a lot of teams have going through their team here.
Magnus Havlid happy to have everyone available. Leo Carlson didn't play a minute, so he took warm-up. Mostly under the weather. And, you know, he's out here draft eligible, watching Bedard, watching Fantilli, comparing himself to them. Well, at this point, it's hard to compare anybody to what Connor Bedard is doing.
A regulation win in this game would put Canada second in the group. And would set up a quarterfinal matchup with Slovakia on Monday night. Lekaramaki had that knocked away. And Ostapchuk, the Ottawa draft pick, plays it ahead. Zach Dean skated right through his man O'Delius, and the puck loose in the corner. Nathan Gaucher reaching for it. He's careful not to raise his stick, but he got clipped with a high stick on the way by as well. And now a penalty coming to Canada. That's going to be Zach Dean. And so the Swedes are going to power play 4 minutes and 6 seconds into the first period. Dean, of course, got the 5-minute major against Czechia in the opening game.
You want to be physical. You want to get on the forecheck, but this is a little bit out of control for Dean. For the first time through, watch his stick on this first collision with O'Delius. Almost gets to the exact same spot, right to the back of the head. Nothing called there. Goes to the other corner. Once again,
number 14, 2 minutes for
right in the back of the head as well. Easy and obvious call. Not a great penalty for Zach Dean to take.
Canada's penalty killers have allowed 3 goals on 14 opposition attempts. The Swedish power play, strangely, is 1 for 11, given all the talent that they have. The Swedes have 6 first-round picks, 16 drafted players.
I'll put Milton Oskarsson in front, 6'6", to occupy a lot of real estate.
Face-off, though, won by Gaucher. The puck cleared down the ice.
Face-off, get-off by Gaucher. Win it, change.
Ludvig Janssen having a terrific tournament for Sweden. Drops it back to Rosén, who plays it around. Janssen, 5 points in 3 games for the Swedes. Now played back. It got away from him. Murray scored now. As Bankier moved in, and Rosén had to swing back for that. First round pick of Buffalo in 2021. He's like Rosén, playing this year in Rochester of the American League. Beestead moves in. He's knocked off the puck. Ostapchuk looks ahead. He's got Gaucher, but the puck hung up at his feet, and then Gaucher got belted down. Janssen drops that back. Far up by Leo Carlson, a top-rated pick for the upcoming NHL draft. Carlson moves in, bumped off the puck by Del Mastro, and Gaucher sends it down the ice. Gaucher has to leave. His chin strap was undone. The referee set him off.
Too many men coming up. I see a linesman with 6 on his net.
They're talking it over here.
Well, Sweden clearly had the puck, so I don't know why it would be against Canada. That must be too many men against Sweden.
Team Sweden, too many players on the ice.
So that'll do it for the power play that had 58 seconds to go.
Well, let's do our math. There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 jump from the bench instead of just 1. Wow.
And that's rare. 6 in the play.
Here you see it's the late 2. And it's the 2 forwards. Lekaramaki and Liesel both go at the same time. Only one of those 2 guys was supposed to leave the bench.
4-on-4 here for 58 seconds in a brief Canadian power play. Ostlund moves in. He's poke checked there by Korchinski. Clark, crisp lead pass to Waugh. Joshua Waugh pivots back, throws that rink wide to Stankoven. Logan Stankoven pokes right in. Stankoven shoots, he just missed. Stankoven taken down. Now Clark's got it back. Clark drops it back to Korchinski. He's back across for Waugh. That pass misfired. Janssen looks ahead for Over, and that missed. And icing called. No, they wave it off. They say the puck was deflected. 25 seconds to go in the Dean penalty. Clark brings it in. Swings it across for Stankoven. The pass out of his reach. Engstrom back with it. Adam Engstrom had the only Swedish goal against Germany. Got credit for it. We think it was Rosén's goal, but they never changed it. Now drop back. Engstrom shoots. That's swept away by Milic. And that might be the first Swedish shot of the game if they give them credit for it. Engstrom throws it back in front. Clark back with it. Looks ahead for Stankoven. Bedard out there, and Canada back on the power play for 1:02. Dean stays out. Drops that back to Bedard. Connor Bedard trying to throw that back in front. The pass was blocked by Norea. Elias Pettersson looks ahead. First attempt was blocked. Now throws it ahead to Simone Robertson. Moving in on Zellweger, shorthanded. Robertson shoots, not to stick out of Zellweger's hand. Sweden still not credited with a shot in the game. In comes Wright. Shane Wright throws that back in front. Picked up by Oskarsson, but he couldn't clear it out. Norea. And this time, Oskarsson squeezes that by Zellweger and back down the ice. Canada is 11 for its last 13 on the power play. Bedard up for Wright. Wright to Bedard. Connor Bedard works back in. Throws it back in front. Off shoot that just wide. Zellweger back with it. Zellweger back to Hoffman. Crisscrossing with Bedard. Bedard spins away from Oscar Pettersson. Zellweger back across. Got there a hard shot. That goes off the mask of Lindholm. Up and out of play. Canada off to a flying start. It was Waugh followed by Hoffman. A 2-0 lead on New Year's Eve in Halifax.
Come on over. Bring your appetite. Bring a friend. Bring a few. Our home is your home. Let us give you the tour. Then you can relax. And a little later, we'll even put on a show. New Brunswick, always inviting.
$50 off. Scan this QR code. Don't wait. Scan the code now and get the permanent solution protected by the Bosley Guarantee.
2-0 Canada already. Logan Stankoven trying to make it 3. Check out how he just dances Elias Pettersson, spins him like a top, gets the inside. Hard cut, little flick, and doesn't miss by much from a grade A spot.
Gaucher wins the face-off. Ostapchuk taps that back. Del Mastro shoots. That's blocked. Del Mastro gets it back. Ethan Del Mastro back to Nathan Gaucher. Feeds that back. Rosean picks it up. Isak Rosean flips that back down to the Canadian zone. Beasted goes after it. Del Mastro steps hard into him. Ostapchuk to the line, but not out. Odelius. Long shot goes off a skate. Del Mastro cleared that away. Ostapchuk out to center ice. And Axel Sandin Pellikka plays that ahead for Rosean. Long shot. Village batted that away. Zellweger with it. Bouncing puck goes back. There's Pettersson shoots. That was blocked by Del Mastro. Dean back around to Del Mastro for Zellweger. Made the tournament all-star team in August at the World Juniors in Edmonton. The reigning Western Hockey League Defenseman of the Year. Brent Clark from the LA Kings, one of 3 NHL players loaned to Team Canada, throws a rink wide for Gunther. In comes Dylan Gunther, got tied up in the corner. Now poked free by Wright. Shane Wright with it. Holds the rolling puck and shoots. That was blocked. Ogren turns it over. Gunther with a chance. That was blocked by Janssen. Picked up now by Gunther. Gunther for Wright. That was picked off. As Noah Othman got a stick on that. Othman tries to work that free. Brendan Othman shields off Pettersson. Now Gunther with it. He just shoves Othman off the puck, but now Pettersson on the backhand got to the line, but not out. Here's Wright. Trying to throw that back in. Gunther sweeps at it. Bouncing puck. Othman throws it back in front right with a chance. Lindmo makes the save. Point blank on the Canadian captain. And here's Elias Pettersson with it. Rink wide, he goes to Ostlund as Canada changes. Ostlund throws that back down to the Canadian zone as Allen goes back for it. Nolan Allen feeds it across to Brent Clark. Native of Nepean, Ontario. Looks ahead for Bedard, who sweeps that down to the Swedish zone.
Clark just got clipped up in the face. Having trouble getting off.
Wagner moves it back across. Lucelle to Wagner shoots. He puts it wide. Back at the point. Show the drive. That goes wide. Sweden's still got a shot here. They've come close, but not got anything on net. Engstrom turns over to Stankoven for a moment. Then Engstrom knocked that away. Drop back for Victor Sjöholm at center ice. That pass was deflected away by Bankier. Now Bankier and with Fantilli. In comes Fantilli. Shoots. Lindblom to save. Long rebound picked up by Lysell. He dropped it back. It was almost stolen by Fantilli. And now Fantilli has it back. Up ahead for Colton Dock. Moves it on Delius. Feeds that back in front. Here's Bankier with it. Hayden Bankier drops it down. Finds with a shot. That's deflected away by Odelius. And now move back down to the Canadian zone where Kevin Korchinski from Saskatoon goes back to pick it up. Up ahead for Bankier. He finds Zellweger. Lifts that back down to the Swedish zone. Janssen chops that down. Back around for Oscar Pettersson. Looks up the center ice, but intercepted by Del Mastro. He turns it over. Beasted gets it back. In comes Beasted. Backhand shot stopped by Miller. Puck still is behind the goal. Zellweger has it back. Olin Zellweger looks it high in the air. Dean goes after it. On Elias Pettersson. Knocked down by Ostapchuk. Dean to Ostapchuk. Brings it back around for Zellweger. That broken stick now sitting in the crease. And it's turned over to Fabian Wagner. Gaucher up into Ostapchuk. Plays that back in deep. Picked up by Gaucher. Gaucher wraparound try. Rebound. And Ostapchuk just missed on that. Here's Rosean back with it the other way with Carlson. Rosean needs a change and sweeps that back down to the Canadian zone. 9:45 to go in the first period. Del Mastro up for Gunther. Knocked down for Sjöholm. Up for Engstrom, chips it back down to the Canadian zone. Milic out to play it. One of 4 Seattle Thunderbirds on the Canadian roster. Picked up by Clark. Up for Othman. High off the glass and back down the ice. Shane Wright. Had that knocked away by Engstrom. Rink wide pass goes to Liam Ogren. Minnesota first round pick. Ogren takes the return pass, moves in, finds Ostlund, but he's poke checked there by Waugh. Ogren throws it back in the corner. Lekkerimäki back for Sandin Pellikka. His shot goes off a skate and wide. Ostlund centers it, bouncing puck village down. And the loose puck picked up by Gunther.
That was deflected by a Canadian stick into the feet of Village. Close call.
Gunther up for Waugh, chops it, that hit the linesman. And Lekkerimäki plays it back down to the Swedish zone. Sweden now with 2 shots here in the first period. Odelius being watched there by Stankoven. Stankoven stole it for a moment, and finally Odelius plays it back out. And here they come again. Waugh goes after Sandin Pellikka, a draft-eligible player who will almost certainly be a first-round pick in the upcoming NHL draft. Stankoven looks down to Bedard, and Bedard goes back after it. Bedard throws that pass rink wide. Stankoven back. Tyson Hines finishes it off, and Canada's got a 3-0 lead.
My goodness, what a one-timer by Tyson Hines. Bedard on the forecheck keeps it alive into Stankoven, but he just tees him right up. And Tyson Hines goes right over the glove. Perfect pass, not too hard, right in the middle of the ice, and Hines on another extended forecheck for Canada. Beats Lindbaum cleanly over the glove to make it 3-0 Canada. 12 minutes in.
Hines with goals in back-to-back games now for Canada. Native of Gatineau, Quebec, plays for Sherbrooke. In the Quebec league, there's a quick chance at the side of the goal for Reed Schaefer. Fantilli back with it. Drops it back off. Kruczynski with a shot that deflects wide. Ludwig Janssen. Pass ahead to Oscarson. And that's knocked away from Oscar Pettersson. Picked up now by Clark. Bedard draws an assist on the goal along with Stankoven. So Bedard now 1 behind Eric Lindros for the all-time point lead, a record that has stood since the 1992 World Junior. That's the Canadian record. He's taken down, penalty coming to Canada. Ostapchuk will go for the trip. And now Robertson's got to stick up with Dean. Canada's got a 3-0 lead. Tyson Hines from Gatineau, Quebec. And his mom, France Lanois, in the crowd cheering him on.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Timmy, focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Poshmark is the perfect side hustle. It got me through school, a new job, and getting into my first apartment. There's so much I can sell. Bags, accessories, home decor, and it's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You can do it in a minute. I love it.
Canada up 3-0 will go to the penalty kill, but not sure if it'll be for 2 or 5 minutes as the referees are checking out this knee by Ostapchuk on Bjugstad. And you see he definitely gets the right leg out, but he kind of turns it sideways, turns it into more of a trip. Doesn't really go knee on knee, more kind of the inner part of the leg, which is slightly less dangerous. But it was a 5-minute major in the first game against Czechia that gave Canada trouble. And after playing almost a flawless 12.5 minutes to start this game, this could be a pivotal decision.
Michael Sherrick from Switzerland rather. Antti Salonen from Finland are the referees.
So after video review, we have a 5-minute game for knee.
Wow. So that's it for Ostapchuk for the night, and a 5-minute power play to get back in the game for Sweden.
With 7:27 to go in the period.
And that's the risk you run. The tight standard here, you could debate it either way. It's definitely gets his knee out. Could be dangerous on Bjorkstad, and Canada will now have to buckle up for the next 5 minutes, shorthanded. And as we saw against Czechia, any goal scored does not change the man advantage for Sweden. They can score as many as they want, or can, in the next 5 minutes.
Sweden 0 for 1 on the power play, did not have a shot in their first. So Liam Wogren for the face-off against Gaucher. And Gaucher wins another. Hines flips it high in the air and back down the ice. And Sandin Pellikka goes back as he's being watched there by Gaucher, and Gaucher goes right back after him. Ogren taps a rink wide to Lysell. 5-minute power play for Sweden. Fabian Lysell, the Boston first-rounder, drops it back for Ogren. That pass disrupted by Colton Dach. Sandin Pellikka winds it across the line, plays it across to Ostlund. Ostlund looks back for Lekkerimäki, bobbled it. Dean's got a chance. In comes Zach Dean poking it ahead. Dean works in, shoots, he flipped that wide. And Dean now causing more problems as he flushes Ostlund back. Sandin Pellikka plays for Skellefteå in the Swedish Hockey League. Winds back out and finds Rosean. Back for Bjorkstad. He bobbled it for a moment. And that's knocked down the ice again by Dean. 1 minute gone in the 5-minute power play. Bjorkstad drops that back and finds Janssen. Drops it off to Leo Carlsson. He and Bankier collide. Waugh stepped up and now poked at by Allen. At the point is Janssen. Back across to Rosean. Isak Rosean plays that back to Janssen. Back to Rosean. Works it and shoots. Village save. Rebounds. Oscar's got a chance. That's turned away. Janssen steps into that. And that deflects wide. Rosean. Back across to Carlsson. Janssen back at the point waiting for it. Carlsson winds his way in. Leo Carlsson shoots. And Miller's got a piece of that. Ludvig Janssen steps around Matier. Plays that back to Carlsson. Lots of traffic in front. Rosean with a shot. That was blocked by Waugh. Joshua Waugh's away along with Bankier. Bankier peels off on a change. Waugh moves in and shoots. Lindblom makes the save on that. And now Waugh will make his way off. 2 gone in the 5-minute power play. Sandin Pellikka winds through center ice and drops it back as Sweden changes. And Lysell goes across to Ogren. Liam Ogren drops it back to Ostlund. Sandin Pellikka back across. Lekkerimäki shoots. Milic to save, and he corrals the rebound. 5:01 to go here in the opening period. Canada's shorthanded, but Milic turns this one away.
Guys, help me understand something. If hair loss is one of the biggest insecurities men face and it's totally treatable, why haven't you done anything about it? Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration experts, are here to help. Bosley uses the latest technology and science to give you your real hair back permanently. That's a promise backed by the Bosley Guarantee. And right now, they've got an incredible free offer for you. If you send that text down below, they're going to give you the completely free Bosley info kit. You're also going to get a $250 free Bosley gift card. Guys, do not wait. Do not suffer the insecurity that I know that a lot of you guys are suffering with. Bosley is a solution for you at any stage of hair loss, which is something that I love. Do you think these guys are happy they went to Bosley? So guys, what are you waiting for? Go see Bosley, send the text, and get your real hair back.
For your free information kit and free gift card for $250 off, text SCORE to 654-654. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. Text SCORE to 654-654.
One of the real storylines coming into this game was the perceived advantage of Sweden in net. You look at all the numbers, they were tops in the tournament, including that bottom goal save above expected. And Canada perhaps some question marks, but so far in this first period, has been Lindblom shown to be human.
Lindblom opened with 2 shutouts. He allowed 2 goals in the first 76 shots he faced in 3 games. Tonight, 3 goals on 11 shots.
Facing some different kind of shooters and shots against so far in this one.
Face-off scramble, picked up and set down the ice by Colton Dach. Midway through this 5-minute power play for Sweden. Sandin Pellikka swings it across to Liesel. Liesel played for the Providence Bruins in the American Hockey League this year. Threw that rink wide. Sandin Pellikka for Liesel. Ostlund moves in, drops it back. Liesel looks back to Sandin Pellikka. Back across for Lekkerimäki. Lekkerimäki shoots. That was blocked by the mouse for that broke his stick. But Doc sends the puck down the ice.
That's one Lekkerimäki just got to get down to the front of the net. Got 2 forwards only against 1 defenseman if he can get it through.
3 gone in the 5-minute power play. Roseanne jumps it across the line. That's poked away by Dean. And the puck goes into the Canadian bench.
Well, the forwards for Canada are doing a really good job in the neutral zone, disrupting any attempt at a controlled entry for Sweden. With active sticks, good angles, quick feet, they are shutting down lanes where Sweden's able to get over the blue line. It's made it hard for Sweden to be set up and get to their sets.
So on comes Oscarsson for the faceoff against Bankier. Scramble draw, controlled by the Swedes. Janssen takes that pass back at the point. Plays it back for Roseanne. Janssen. Roseanne walks in, gets a lane. Can't get a shot away. Roseanne loose in the corner with it. Feeds it rink wide for Bistad. It skipped over his stick. Bistad back across to Roseanne for Janssen. Ludvig Janssen shoots, scores! Janssen with a power play goal, and the Swedes are on the board, down 3-1. And Ludvig Jansson's strong tournament continues. He had a couple of goals, including the overtime winner in Sweden's last game against Czechia.
They got to their sets. And Canada wants their defenseman against the left side shooter, but Janssen gets out of that spot and rotates the middle, and Hines isn't sure, do I go with him or do I leave him? He gets kind of stuck in between, and Allen down in front of the net playing goal, not able to make the save himself, and Milic can't see a thing. Wrister top shelf gets Sweden on the board and work on their way back into the game, courtesy of this 5-minute major.
Fantilli serving the penalty to Zach Ostapchuk. And Sweden remains on the power play. Time for Del Mastro across to Zellweger. Looks up the ice and slaps it right down. Rolling puck goes to Waugh. Joshua Waugh plays that back down, and Carlson picks it back up. Bill Carlson turned 18 on Boxing Day. Plays for Örebro in the Swedish Hockey League. It will go early in the upcoming NHL draft. Roseanne back for Janssen. He's poked check. The puck goes off the glass. Gaucher picks it up. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Janssen. Rink wide to Bistad. Moves back in on Zellweger. Back at the point, held by Sandin Pellikka. Actual Sandin Pellikka swings it across Roseanne. Back to Sandin Pellikka. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Sandin Pellikka balled it for a moment. Now he falls and gathers it back up. Sandin Pellikka, long shot that was blocked by Gaucher. Roseanne with it. Rink wide he goes. Carlson sends it back and puck tipped high by Bistad. Loose behind the goal. Final seconds now on this power play. Bistad, as Roseanne makes his way off the ice, is picked up by Del Mastro. 3 shots for Sweden on that 5-minute power play. They score one of them. Fantilli works in out of the penalty box. That rolled away from him. And Oscar Pettersson got bumped there by Bedard, who's been sitting during the penalty kill for the last 5 minutes. Fantilli pokes at it. And now scooped up by Korchinski. The Chicago Blackhawks first-round pick slides it back up to center ice. Oscar Pettersson played that ahead for Sternborg. That's broken up. Stankover goes after it. And Bedard, a big hit on Oscar Pettersson. In comes Engstrom. Fans on the shot. Picked up by Korchinski. Minute 45 to go in the period. Korchinski fell. And Brandt Clark brings it up. Clark rink wide to Korchinski. Poked ahead by Stankoven out of the reach of Korchinski. That hit Lekkerimäki. And now moved ahead to Sternborg. Back for Elias Pettersson, the big defenseman, rings it back around. Ostlund lost the puck for a moment. Othman tried to thread that ahead, gets it right back. Othman rink wide for Stankoven. Stankoven puts it high in the air. Lindblom gloves that and is able to hang on.
against it, the goal scorer for Sweden. Get a sense of what Milic is looking at. He's trying to find the puck, and then he gets big Oscarsson in the way as well as Allen. And how is he supposed to find this when he's not going to be able to look over top of him? He's trying to get him out of there, but he's looking left. He's trying to find it, and he has no idea. He does not spot it on the release, and that's why they put the big guy in front to make life difficult for the goaltender.
Shane Wright for the face-off, loses that to Liam Ogren. Lifted high in the air by Engstrom. Hines up air to Gunther. Gunther swings that back down to the Swedish zone. Ogren chops at that. Racing back is Gunther to pick it up. Gunther, another NHL player in the Canadian lineup, playing for Arizona. In the NHL this season, that long shoot and chip down, and Lindholm hangs on to that. Shane Wright's into it with Adam Engstrom, a Montreal third-round pick.
And what that power play for Sweden has done, not only give them the goal, get them back in the game, it's quieted the crowd, it's kept Bedard and Stankoven off the ice, and it's allowed them to settle down. They were on their heels, having a hard time dealing with the forecheck and the pace and the physicality that Canada was bringing the first 10 minutes. And now it all feels more manageable because they haven't had to do it for half the period.
Right out there along with Gunther and Hoffman. Face off, one back to Clark. Shoots from a sharp angle, that's skipped wide. Inside a minute to go here in the period. Zellweger sends it back in front, chipped by Wright. Limbo makes the stop and hangs on, and now at the end of the play, Zellweger thrown down.
Chippy down there.
Yeah, these countries haven't faced each other in the World Junior in 5 years. They're making up for lost time.
You wouldn't know it, as Sweden doesn't want anyone near their goaltender. Shot, rebound attempt for Shane Wright. Play should be dead here, but Oscar Pettersson comes down and gives Wright a little shove when he's already down on his knees, which is going to get things going. Zellweger tripping in the back of the net as well by Engstrom. So what you do? The loose puck, you get 5-year jerseys right down there and shove everyone out. You got to be mindful, do not take a penalty.
These teams face each other in the gold medal game of the 20 of the under-18s in 2021. His Stankoven shot was blocked. Now bouncing in the corner, Sandin Pellikka bats at it. Time winds down here in the period. Picked up by Waugh. Stankoven knocked down. Here's Waugh back with it. Battles there with Wagner. Odelius on his backhand, got pushed there by Bedard. Stankoven knocks Wagner off. And now Clark steps up. Backed up by Bedard. Stankoven goes after it. Logan Stankoven bumps with Odelius, picked up by Bedard. Throws that rink wide to Zellweger. Back across to Clark. Clark to Zellweger, penalty coming to Sweden. Zellweger shoots. That's deflected back in the corner. Stankoven picks it up. The extra skater comes on. It's right. Zellweger follow the puck at the blue line. Time winding down here. Canada's going to start the second period on the power play. It'll be an interference call against Sweden.
Number 4, Team Sweden, 2-minute interference.
3-1, Canada leads the final game of the preliminary round of the 2023 World Junior Hockey Championship.
It's not just that they're the best. It's that for the first time ever, they're all here together to bring out your best. Whatever that means to you.
5, 6, 7, get it. Drag Race is now on MTV. My Super Sweet 16 new queens are ready for the race of their lives.
And gagging, you killed it. Slay, mommy!
And buckle up for the one and only Ariana Grande.
This was a game changer. You're damn talented.
Ready, set, play!
RuPaul's Drag Race is coming to MTV this Friday at 8.
Watch on MTV.
What's up, hockey fans? Can't wait ready to show you everything that went down.
Let's talk about tonight's matchup. This is what it's all about.
Don't blink, because we've got a ton of highlights for you. NHL is firing on all cylinders.
What a night!
What a great day for a hockey game.
The NHL is outdoors once again.
Maybe the biggest stage of the regular season.
Make your New Year's classical.
Side of the net!
Outdoor hockey returns.
The place is buzzing.
What pageantry?
Spend your New Year's with us.
Coverage of the
Axel Sandin-Pellikka goes off for interference at the end of the first period.
It was coming on the heels of a long forechecking shift, and Sandin-Pellikka just drives Stankoven into the side of the net, doesn't let him get up. And that is the textbook interference on Sandin-Pellikka. So the vaunted power play goes back to work for Canada.
Canada 1 for 2 in the game. The second one was abbreviated, just a minute long. Engstrom plays that back around. Zellweger waved at that and races back as Victor Sternberg moves in on him. Up back down to the Swedish zone. Lindbom out to play a rolling puck. Got to be careful with it. Off the glass by Bedard. Up ahead for the captain Sternberg. Sweden has 7 players back from last year's team, but more importantly, 11 who can return when the tournament's held in Gothenburg, Sweden, next December and January. And by the way, some 2,000 Canadian fans have already booked tickets. Bedard turns his stick over and pokes that away.
That toe pick to get it out of there just in time. That is not easy to do.
Here's Hoffman with it. As one of the Canadian goals, winds his way in and fires that back around right. Chips it back to Bedard. Bedard to right. And it's fired back down the ice by Elias Pettersson.
Looks like one of those early period power plays where the guys just aren't in sync coming out of the dressing room.
Clark with it. Drops that back for Stankoven. Up ahead to Fantilli. Adam Fantilli winds in, little head fake, moves it and shoots. Lindbom save. And he gloves that.
So with 3 points on the 3 Canadian goals, Connor Bedard finds himself just 1 back of Eric Lindros for the all-time points record by a Canadian in this tournament.
And now you start talking about maybe, look at this.
How about this? Like that's under duress if you miss. Robertson's right going to be in there. That unbelievable stick skills to pull that off.
On the horizon, maybe Peter Forsberg's all-time World Junior points record of 42.
Can't be. But I wouldn't have thought he'd have. So you have now 17 in this tournament right now.
Forsberg had 10 points in 1 game against Japan. The year he had 31 points in 7 games of the World Junior. In comes Fantilli. Winds in. Adam Fantilli banks that back around. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Stankoven flips that back. Clark slaps it back in. Gaucher to Fantilli. Here's Gaucher on it. He got shoved into the board. Stankoven had it knocked away, and it's brought out by Engstrom. Sandin-Pellikka steps out. Engstrom works in, drops it the high slot. Oscar Pettersson beats it across, and it's knocked wide by Sandin-Pellikka. Good chance after the Canadian power play ended, and now Clark brings it back the other way. Gains center ice and fires that down. Lindbom hangs on to it. 1 shot for Canada on that man advantage. It remains a 3-1 game. Nolan Allen. Back around for Hines. Up for Bankier, slaps that down to the Swedish zone. It'll be icing against Canada.
And now with Stapchuk out of the lineup for the game after the 5-minute major, he's going to have some decision about lines to make. But here's Sweden late in the penalty kill. The guy jumps out. Nice passing play, 4-on-2. Engstrom, Oscarson right back through. And just a little bit too far the front foot of Sandin-Pellikka. Doesn't let him get good contact with it.
Reed Schaefer pokes it. That was knocked away from him by Carlson. A sharp angle shot. Milic is looking back as that shot from the boards by Rosean was stopped by the Canadian netminder.
Milic didn't have too much to do in that first period until that 5-minute major sack of Stapchuk.
Came on in relief against Czechia, stopped all 10 shots he faced, and played against Germany, allowed 2 goals on 16 shots.
Still working his way through it. You never like to see your goaltender peeking behind him. He's not quite sure where it is, but his glove.
Face off. Pedersen shoots off and got in the way of that. And the puck goes up and out. Milic played every minute of the playoffs last year for the Seattle Thunderbirds. They played 25 postseason games, got to the conference final.
That's a massive run. It's an NHL Stanley Cup length run.
He had a .925 save percentage over 25 games.
He's been in some big moments in his career.
Zellweger banks that back end for Gunther. Janssen took that away, but Gunther to the forecheck. Janssen pivots back. Stolen back by Gunther. Throws that towards the goal. Just missed off him with that pass. Del Mastro steps up. Plays it back around to Gunther. Shields off Janssen. Right. Feeds that back to Zellweger. Zellweger beats Roseanne. Walks in, shoots. Stopped by Lindblom, and he'll hang on to that as Olin Zellweger comes in on the dash.
How clean and easy did he make that look, dancing around Isaac Roseanne, who's quite a good skater of his own. And he just sells middle and then plants and goes. And he barely gets touched by Roseanne. Right to the hash marks, trying to go over the glove of Lindblom.
I mentioned there are 17 players in this game who played the under-18 gold medal game in 2021. 10 for Canada, 7 for Sweden.
You better know if you're going up against Zellweger, you have to defend him under control.
Sweden won the under-18s this past spring and have 10 players from that team. Lekaramaki works in, holds, fans on it, picked up by Stankoven. Logan Stankoven got poke checked there and quickly retreats to pick up the puck. Clark up for Bedard. In with Joshua Waugh. Waugh finds Bedard. Backhand shot that goes wide. Ogren plays it back across to Sandin Pellikka. And Waugh stepped into him. Picked up by Bedard. In with Stankoven. Bedard. Stankoven in. Stopped by Lindblom. Rebound. Loose in front. Bedard hacking at it. Lindblom still down. And finally freezes it. What a chance there for Stankoven. And Bedard got clipped at the end of that and wasn't pleased.
The referees are going to start taking guys out of these scrums because they're happening an awful lot. Well, how about this pass from Bedard? He's got to float it over basically 2 sticks. Ordelius and the sliding back checker. And Lindblom doing a good job keeping his glove hand up by his shoulder. Doesn't drop it. He's waiting for that puck to come back against the grain and makes a good save and squeezes the pads against the rebound. Connor Bedard is sniffing for a little bank shot.
By the way, it was the semifinals of the under-18s in 2021. 3 minutes, 54 seconds into the second period. Canada a 3-1 lead. Regulation win gives Canada second place in the group and a date with Slovakia in the last quarterfinal matchup here in Halifax on Monday. Now Gaucher is going to go. As he's going to show home a holding call against Canada, and the Swedes are going back on the power play. And Liesel came in for a word with Gaucher.
Gaucher trying to drag Liesel to the box with him. So Liesel came with a gentle nudge after the penalty had been called. Gaucher looking for the lunge, loses body position. Shohom leans into him and
Team Canada 21, 2 minutes for holding.
Sort of horse collars him down. So Gaucher
key penalty. Killer. Sweden 1 for 3 on the power play. They scored once in that 5-minute major.
They float over there nicely. Not surprising, he knew exactly that he had to get over both sets of sticks. So yeah, and Gaucher also their strongest right-handed defensive zone faceoff guy alongside Shane Wright.
Bankier scrambled that drop, picked out by Beested. Back for Janssen. Janssen plays it back to Roseanne. Back in the corner for Beested. Roseanne. Janssen walks in, little backdoor pass, and Millis comes across to make the stop on Beested. Leo Carlson drops it back. Roseanne shoots, fired it wide. Rebound. Beested on a stick blocked by Del Mastro. Carlson back with it. Drops it back to Roseanne. Janssen. Carlson shoots. That was partly blocked. Now the puck sent down the ice by Bankier. Janssen. Up to Carlson. Fires that back down. Milic gathers it back up. Leaves it there. And Hines plays it back ahead, swatted up by Del Mastro. A chance now for Dean, short-handed. Jansen with a bouncing puck. Got to be careful with that. Laid back by Waugh. Del Mastro retreats. Reverses for Hines. He's got some time. And Hines slaps it off the glass and back down the ice. Lindball leaves it there for Sandin Pellikka. 45 seconds to go in the Swedish power play. Sandin Pellikka drops it back, picked up by Bankier. Aiden Bankier knocked down at center ice by Ostlund. Over. Goes straight wide for Lehkomäki. Lehkomäki tied up by Hines. Ultra careful not to get a hand or a stick on him. 30 seconds to go in this power play. Canada just killing the clock down there. Hines, along with Doug, and Doug picks it up. Give all that time and then come out with it. Final seconds now of the power play. Sandin Pellikka works in. That's picked off by Clark. High off the glass. Hoffman goes after it. He's got it. In comes Hoffman with Gaucher. Hoffman drops. Zellweger. He drops it back, but it's picked up by Ostlund. And Sandin Pellikka sends it back down to the Canadian zone. Zellweger back across to Clark. Clark winds his way in. Brant Clark throws it back across. Bouncing puck. Lindbom knocked that away. Sternberg back across to Adelius. Sends it back ahead to Oscar Pettersson. Bounces that down to the Canadian zone as Clark goes back. Skates away from Sternberg. Wagner got a stick on that one. He has Pettersson a long shot. Milic gets a stick on that and knocks it up and out of play. Canada up by 2. Beestead came this close to making it a 1-goal game.
Why do I love college hockey? That's why I love college hockey.
It's not just that they're the best. It's that for the first time ever, they're all here together to bring out your best. Whatever that means to you.
5, 6, 7, get it.
The TSN World Junior family wants to send our best wishes to our beloved colleague Sean Dunham, born in nearby Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia. He's a veteran of 23 World Juniors. Can't be with us this year. Sean, we're thinking of you, and you are dearly missed. Since 1995 in Red Deer, so much of what you saw at the World Junior, you saw through Sean's lens. Del Mastro slaps that ahead, and Gunther goes after it. Engstrom's got to hustle back, but Del Mastro closing as well. Now Del Mastro peels back. Carlson works in, drops it back to Rosé, and sends it back in front. That pass blocked by Del Mastro. Zellweger with a rolling puck behind the goal. Beestead steps up, drops that back, but Wright got a stick on it, knocked that to the line. Sjöholm flips it ahead. That's going to be a hand pass called against the Swedes.
Canada killing off another one. Sweden is trying to creep their way back into the game territorially.
But you make the point, up 3-0 and really steamrolling the Swedes, then the 5-minute major kind of stalled the momentum.
It's evened out the game, which was very lopsided in Canada's favor up to that point.
Clark up to Bedard. Rinkwine goes to Nolan Allen. Brought in by Waugh. Joshua Waugh's got time. Works in, shoots. Lindbom makes a short side save. Sandin Pellikka to Lehkomäki. Once again being watched by Waugh. He finds Sandin Pellikka, but it's chipped away from him. Sandin Pellikka gets it right back. Moves it back down the Canadian zone, and Clark picks it up. 8th overall pick in the 2021 draft for the LA Kings. He's played for LA and their American League team in Ontario this year. That's poked ahead by Bedard. Here comes Connor Bedard. A rolling puck. It was hot by Adele. is going to the power play.
No, Delius can't believe it. He knows who's coming at him. Now he let him slide by.
2 minutes cooking.
Connor Bedard pokes it through. Sneaky fast, and it can't open into the hands, not letting the shot get off Bedard's stick. Obvious hooking penalty. Prior to that, we've seen a couple times Lindblom has made the glove save, so what does Raw try? He tries going blocker side, but Lindblom keeps that blocker up there as well to fight it off. Just enough to turn aside. Waugh looking for a second of the game.
Bedard stays out on the power play. Tied with Jordan Eberle for the Canadian all-time lead in World Junior goals. 1 point behind Eric Lindros for the all-time lead in points. Zellweger swings it back to Bedard. Down to Off in the center. Wide by right. Right back after it. And it's moved down the ice by Sternberg. Swedes get fresh penalty killers on the ice. 11:45 to go here. In the second period, Zellweger moves around Simone Robertson. Now, Zellweger, the first man on the forecheck for Canada. The defenseman gets in there deep. Hoffman looking for it as well. Bedard's the only man at the point. He jumps up for it. Bedard plays it back around. Zellweger still down low. Hoffman got bumped off the puck there by Schoholm. He started to argue with the official, but there was no penalty coming.
Schoholm wants a dive. Hoffman wanted interference. Nobody's happy.
Gunther moves through center, sends it across to right, back for Gunther, in, shoots, Lindblom the save, and he hangs on.
Canada having trouble getting set up, but are willing to attack off the rush. Give and go, right, throws it out to space. Gunther skates into it, trying to slip it underneath the arm of Lindblom, who's settled down after his early start. So that's probably both a pick and an embellishment.
It can be both.
It was both. So you're going to call both or none, either way.
Gaucher wins that face-off. Fantilli plays it back for Clark. Across he goes to Stankoven. Logan Stankoven feeds it back to Clark. Winds and shoots. Lindblom save. Rebound. Waugh trying to reach for that. Waugh. Back around for Gaucher. And carrying attempt picked off by Stankoven. Pettersson couldn't get it out. Clark. Back across to Fantilli. Adam Fantilli banks it down to Gaucher. Spins that back to Stankoven, picked up by Sternberg, and sent back down the ice. 30 seconds to go on this Canadian power play, approaching the midway point of the second period. Clark drops it back off to Stankoven. Logan Stankoven dances through center ice, drops it off. Gaucher's cross-ice pass was broken up by Oscar Pettersson. Now at the line, bumped by Clark and back down, and Clark calling for a lead pass from Milic and gets it. Final seconds of the power play, lead pass. Finds Bankier moving up. Bankier tying up 2 shots for Canada on that power play. Bankier walks out of the corner. Still tied up, and brought away by Engstrom. Looks ahead to Delius out of the penalty box, and Del Mastro knocked that away. Engstrom moves it back down to the Canadian zone, and Clark picks it up. Clark, crisp pass ahead for Reed Schaefer, the Edmonton Oilers' first-round pick. Slides that back down to the Swedish zone. Here's Bankier on the forecheck, along with Schaefer. Schaefer trying to work that free, does. Now the rolling puck, picked up by Bankier, shoots and fired it wide. Here's Schaefer back on it. And Reed Schaefer, 2 Swedes bumped into him. Sandin Pellikka ties him up, but Schaefer comes out with a puck. Plays it back to Allen. Back in for Schaefer. Here's Colton Dock with it. Dock. Tied up in the corner. Once again, ties up 2 Swedish defenders. Gunther back out there now. Right. Feeds that back to Allen. Nolan Allen back to Gunther. A shot that goes off the leg. Well, Ludwig Janssen at the line, held by Del Mastro. Shoots. That flutters wide. Tired Swedish defenders on the ice now. Allen plays it back up. Here's Bistad with it. He got flushed there by Wright. Throws it ahead to Roseanne. Isak Roseanne. Finds Leo Carlson with it. In on Del Mastro. Carlson still tied up, and Del Mastro takes him hard in the corner. Right back with it to Gunther. He was tied up. Carlson's got it back. Into the corner for Ostlund. Bangs that back to Norayan. Back to Elias Pettersson. Shoots. That was blocked by Hoffman. Hoffman back on it, chips it off the boards and back down to the Swedish zone. Jacob Norén goes back. Long lead pass broken up at center ice by Allen. Hoffman stepped into Ogren. And the puck bounces back down to Allen. Allen up ahead to Bedard, looking for Waugh. And Joshua Waugh kicks at that, but the puck goes into the Canadian bench. 8:04 to go here in the second period. You're watching the 2023 World Juniors from Halifax.
Anything is possible. Give everything on and on. Our truth will not be buried. We're gonna be legendary.
Juicy scores! Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness! Big hit to the near side. Oh, did you see that? What a stop!
Trevor! Hey, Trevor! Want to play some chow?
Chow? Be right down.
Let's go.
Chow.
Chow? Chow?
Shit.
Chow?
Chow? Heck yeah.
Abby! Chow! 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 Chow!
Chill.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
The award-winning Crave original critics call obscenely funny and brilliant is back with all new episodes. Letterkenny now streaming only on Crave. Day off tomorrow at the World Junior Championship. All 4 quarterfinals played on Monday. Tuesday a day off. Both semifinals on Wednesday. The bronze and gold medal games on Thursday. In addition, the relegation round, the best of 3 between Latvia and Austria will take place over that period. Norway coming up next year. Bedard goes in after Sjöholm. Waugh on it. And Waugh worked that free. Rep try for Stankoven. That was stopped short side by Lindbom. Liesel comes up back ahead. It was knocked down. Sternberg, a quick shot. Blocked by Hines. Hines broke his stick on the play. Hines defending well his stick. Long shot taken by Engstrom, but it's knocked down by Waugh. Bedard streaking ahead. The pass broken up at center ice by Sjöholm. Bedard slammed down Liesel. Stankoven drops. Waugh moves it. Drops it back for Bedard. The backhand shot was blocked by Engstrom. Lead pass by Allen. Chipped in by Bedard, who heads off on a change as Waugh stays on. Waugh, big collision with Sjöholm. In comes right after, trying to throw that back in front. And now racing back is Zellweger. Leo Carlson lurking in on him. Zellweger back to Del Mastro. Chipped back down by Wright, but they'll say he didn't touch it. Icing called against Canada.
An underrated part of Connor Bedard's game is his physicality. He's not afraid to dish it out. If he receives enough, he'll take a little run at Liesel, pinches him into the linesman, who does most of the damage. There's no doubt Connor Bedard pushes back in games all the time.
Didn't get a point in his opening game of the year for Regina. Points in 27 games in a row since.
What happened in game 1? We're not going to check that game tape.
Everyone is. They're selling on the black market for thousands of dollars. Zellweger. Follow that for a moment. Picked off by Carlson. Drops it back to Roseanne. He's like, Roseanne works in. Village down. Centered. The shot by Beested blocked. Hoffman knocked it away. Sandine Pellica feeds it back down to Carlson. All this off a Canadian turnover. Carlson pivots back. Looks down to Roseanne. He's sacked to Roseanne. Swings it back towards the goal that was blocked by Wright. And now racing to it is Gunther. And Dylan Gunther throws it high in the air, under the clock, and right down on the Lindbom so Canada can change. 6 to go here in the second period. Hoffman for Sandine Pellica now. Liam Ogren's got it. Rink wide, he goes to Adelius. And Adelius poke check there by Korchinski. Jack Lautier from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, plays it back around. Fantilli on it. He's tied up by Ogren. Liam Ogren Taps that back. No one there for Sweden. Nordelius has got to hustle backward. Zach Dean closing quickly on him. Dean goes in on Nordelius. Is careful not to use his stick. Bump back around. Gaucher goes after it. In comes Fantilli with a big hit. And he slams down Shoho. Lekkerimäki got his pocket picked from behind by Fantilli. Clark. Back to Allen. Up ahead to Dean. Zach Dean. Shoots from a sharp angle. Tipping off the crossbar. And now back goes Clark. Lost the step. Sternberg works in. Sternberg 3-on-1. Drops it back. Olsson across. Lekkerimäki shoot. Oh, it's saved by Milic. Comes across and makes the pad stop. Clark back with it. Poke check of the line. The play is called offside at the Swedish blue line. The Swedes come in 3-on-1. Lekkerimäki turned aside by a toenail save by Milic.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout.
Come on!
And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Since the dawn of man, getting help has been hard. Whether it's for ED, hair loss, or your mental health. Through HIMSS, getting help is simple. It all starts with one small click for you. And you. And you. That can change everything for future you. That's healthcare, as it should be. Click now, thank yourself later. Get started at forhims.com.
3-1 Canada. Stays that way thanks to Thomas Milic's best save of the tournament. Brent Clark's going to get beat to the puck, so he ends up diving for it. Gives up a 3-on-1. And the scratch by Milic. He's got his foot in the air. While fully outstretched like that, I don't know what muscles you need to do it. I don't got them, but to get the elevation to make the save on Lekkerimäki is huge for Milic and in the course of this game.
4:45 to go in the second. His cell fell. They're going to call that on Allen. And so the Swedes got a power play here late in the second period.
Lots of conversation after every call, after every drop.
It looked like Lysell stepped on his stick.
Number 2, Team Canada, 2 minutes tripping.
Allen backing up. Lysell trying to get in on the forecheck. He goes down in a heap. Sweden go back to the power play where they scored their 1 goal in this game. He's got his, even if it's accidental, you get your stick tangled up between the legs. No, the can opener, absolutely. Not on purpose, was not even looking at Lysell, but the call that will be made.
Sweden 1 for 4 in the power play, scored in that 5-minute major in the first period. And this man taking the face off, Milton Oscarsson, the 6'6" center, will go right to the front of the net to be a human eclipse on Milic, which is how they scored their power play goal. Hines knocked out the face-off, but Gaucher's got it back. In comes Nathan Gaucher. Tied up by Janssen, who scored the Swedish power play goal. Away comes Leo Carlson. Lines in, trying to drop that back. Hines got in the way, and Hines off the glass. Takes it high in the air. Janssen has to be careful with that. Takes it back across to Oscarsson. He's knocked down by Del Mastro. Now the clearing attempt. Del Mastro's lost his stick. Quickly gathers it back up. Here's Janssen. Back across to Rosean. Drops that back to Janssen. Being shot there by Bankier. Rosean. Pivots back. Janssen. Walks it in and shoots. He was looking for the stick of Beasted. Hines on his backhand. Plays it back down the ice.
Beasted was trying to get lost behind the net. He went from the right side of the net, in behind to the left, trying to catch Canada staring at the puck and opening up the seam.
Minutes to go in the Swedish power play. Away comes Lysell. Zellweger staggered for a moment. Another penalty coming here. They're going to call a holding call against Canada. 5-on-3 for Sweden for 53 seconds as Zellweger goes off.
That's a couple times in this period where Zellweger has just
Number 3, Team Canada,
lost his edge. One of the best skating defensemen that Canada has, just kind of stumbles and puts himself in a bad spot to play defense. So now he's reaching. And he grabs with the left hand. And there's the penalty 5 on. Watch number 18 slide in behind. Nobody knows I'm over here. All of a sudden the lane's open. The puck just skipped on him. So a significant kill or power play coming up right now. 53 seconds for Sweden to try to get within one.
They had one in their opening game against, or their second game against Germany, but did not score on it. They only scored once in that game. Oscarson wins the draw to Lysell. To Rosean. Back across to Lysell. David Lysell. Back across to Carlson. Lysell. Works back in front. Oscar the shot. Village a point-blank save. Rosean. Back to Carlson. To Rosean. Works it back across. Sandin Pelika's shot that was blocked by Gaucher. The puck comes out. And the crowd roaring its approval of that. Milic knocks that down. Leaves it there for Hines. Off the boards. It's down. Chance now for Gaucher. Racing on his Lindbom. Putting it to Gaucher's equipment. Gaucher can't corral the rolling puck. Wrap around try. Lindbom down. And it's blocked by Sandin Pelika. Wow. Showing a two-man advantage. Lysell works back in. Drops it back to Sandin Pelika. Final second of the first penalty. Lysell walks in, feeds across. Rosean shoots. Milic save. He's got it. Steps out.
Gaucher cannot believe it. He makes the great block, clear the zone. Just has to handle this one. It just rolls over his stick. He's thinking about the short side wrap. Gives Sandin Pelika time to get back there, lead with the stick, seal off the wrap attempt. But prior to that, this chance on the 5-on-3, Oscarson right in front, and that is excellent by Milic. He's been sharp in this game.
Still 1:05 to go in the Swedish power play. Lysell stays out there. And Beasthead will take the draw. Right for the faceoff. Scramble draw picked up by the Swedes. Here's Ogren. Back to Lysell. In for Beasthead. Back to Lysell. Baby Lysell. Drops that back to Janssen. Janssen to Lysell. Beasthead parked in front. Lysell shoots short side. Stopped by Milic. Back at the point is Janssen. Ludvig Janssen. Back across to Liam Ogren. Shoots. Milic gets a piece of that. And the puck goes high off the glass. Allen on his backhand. Poke check there by Ogren. Allen goes the other way. Brings it high off the glass. Lysell knocked it down. As Doc stepped into him. Beasthead. Down to Ostlund. For Lysell. Back he goes for Janssen. Janssen shoots. That was blocked in front by Allen. Sent back for Ostlund. That pass bounced away. Lysell back with it. Being shadowed there by Doc. Sends it back in front. And Mateer got a stick on Beasthead. Over and shoots. That goes off a leg. Final second of the power play. Sent back down the ice, and Canada survives it. 4 shots for Sweden on that power play, including a 5-on-3. Minute and a half to go here in the second period. Oscar Pettersson bumped there by Hines. Picked out and moved ahead by Clark. Bedard's back out there with Waugh. And Stankoven. Waugh moves in. Roll off his stick. Racing up is Clark to keep it alive. Poked by him, and now a 3-on-2 for Sweden. Engstrom moves in, and Hines comes across to take it away. Hines puts it back down to the Swedish zone. Waugh goes after it, knocked away by Wagner, but Stankoven picks it up. For Bedard, that was knocked away. Hines moves up, chipped by him, by Sternborg. Sternborg moves in, shoots, Milic the save, loose puck in front, Milic knocks that away. Final minute now of the period. And Odelius back to pick it up. Well, you wait 5 years to see this. The first meeting since the gold medal game in 2018. Stankoven up ahead to Waugh. Just the 4th time in the last 13 World Juniors that Canada and Sweden have met. Beasthead plays it back in. Down it goes to Rosean. And Rosean feeds that back to Odelius. Long wrist shot got through, and Milic makes the glove save.
Canada, no doubt, is defending hard, but they are on their heels after killing all these penalties. But a good skate by Hines. A stick down, knocked away from Engstrom in a dangerous spot to get us clear. And here's one of the power play. It looks like Beasted's going to be wide open, but just in time, Mateer gets back for A shove to knock him off stride. Canada's got to get out of this period, kind of recollect themselves, get some poise back into their game.
Beastead for the face-off against Wright. And Wright gets a warning. And wins the draw cleanly anyway. Zellweger bumps that to the line, kept alive by Elias Pettersson. Here's Wright with a bouncing puck. Zellweger can't clear it out. Carlson with it. Carlson throws it back across. And it's between two Swedish forwards. Beastead knocks at it. Zellweger. Del Mastro up for Othman. The puck back to center ice. And time winds down here in the period. And the score after two will be the same as it was after one. Canada a 3-1 lead. A regulation win sends Canada to the quarterfinals against Slovakia.
Hey, let's go.
And some nastiness again at the end of the period.
A little chatter at the end. A little shove. Ooh. Oh, Pettersson got the extra on that. But Othman wisely stays composed.
It's New Year's Eve.
QB's low-impact workouts can help you improve mobility and strength, so you can do what you love with less restrictions. Don't wait. Start your wellness journey today with 10% off your first order at QB.com.
Or call 800-730-7552.
Nobody covers the game like us. This is NHL Network.
Trevor! Hey, Trevor! Want to play some chow?
Chow? Be right down.
Let's go.
Chow.
Chow? Chow? Chow?
Chow? Heck yeah.
Ready! Chow! 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 Chow!
Chow.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
I'm Adam Fantilli from the University of Michigan, and this is the fake cutback D. Come down the half wall, you don't have too much time and space. You see some opening in the middle, you fake your cutback, and the D stops moving his feet a little bit. You're able to pull it back through and get around him and get a step, and then make a power move to the net and hopefully get a shot off. Just always doing repetition and things like that, I think, help my game especially. Just to feel the puck, to feel the game, and feel the spatial awareness of where you're at. I feel like it's really important.
Great to see Adam Fantilli get his first World Junior goal in that last game. All right, the numbers, because of all that power play time, Sweden now leads in puck in ozone time, but Canada with big advantage still in slot shots with a 12-7 lead. To the third period we go. Once again, Gordon Miller and Mike Johnson.
No scoring in that second period. The Swedes had a couple power play chances, including a 5-on-3. It remains a 3-1 lead for Canada. Gordon Miller back with Mike Johnson. For a scoreless period, there's a lot going on there.
There was, and this game is much closer than Canada wishes it would be right now, just leading by 2 goals, because since they took the 3-0 lead, Canada's had no shortage of opportunities and good ones, and so some of the credit, of course, has to go to the goaltender. Lindbaum cleaned up his game, made several point-blank saves, but you hate to think about these near misses and golden chances that you would expect Canada to convert maybe 1 or 2 of, because now Sweden has 1 power play goal, 1 break from being right on the heels of Canada. So despite a lot of good work offensively, creating lots of good chances, still a 2-goal lead, which Canada thinks should be bigger than that.
And the teams will start this third period 5-on-5. That camera view from our man Nate Ides, who debuted this camera look and this outfit at the 2018 Lincoln Gretzky Cup. He is something of a cult figure now. He's done interviews here in Halifax, and now fans are dressing up like him and chanting Nate, Nate, Nate.
I love it. Halloween's all set for next year.
So that debuted in 2018, and he wore just a regular tracksuit the first game. Gretzky was there and said, you should wear white, you blend in better. First of all, Nate was kind of dying that Gretzky was talking to him, but since then he's been the man in all white on the ice for it. Some great looks from his camera. And a pretty good skater, too. So away we go. The final period here. As that shot in by the Swedes, icing called. Earlier today, we had Switzerland and Slovakia go to a penalty shootout. Switzerland won that 4-3. USA beat Finland 6-2. On this side, Czechia beat Germany 8-1 to clinch first place in the group, and Canada leading Sweden 3-1. And now you go on to the scariest day of the tournament. The quarterfinal. Zellweger shoots. The winner go home game. Lose the semifinal, you know you're still playing in a medal game. Lose on Monday, you're done. Oh, look out. Careful. Engstrom caught an edge there, went face first into the boards. Now picked up by Wright. Trying to bank that back across. Oscarson lost his stick. Wright sends it back in front for Gunther. He miscued that. Oscarson tied up by Gunther. Held by Del Mastro. Down to Gunther. Feeds it. Tries to score! Osman, 4-1 Canada.
Second, it all starts here. Engstrom, oh boy, rolls his left ankle, crashes in the board hard. And he takes a while to get up. He goes off the ice, but he never quite gets back on the play. You see, Sweden never gets set. Good forecheck by Gunther. He jumps inside and then rips it through Sjöholm's feet. What a good pass this is. Sjöholm's trying to take the passing lane away, but when you pass it that hard, it makes it difficult to do.
And Del Mastro with the hold at the line. So Canada's 3-goal lead is restored. Canada's only lost once in a World Junior game against Sweden in Canada. Long lead pass. Adelius knocks it down. Stankoven moves it back in. Stankoven shoots. Lindblom, a long rebound again. Picked up by Bistad. Bistad back across to Carlson. He pivots back. Leo Carlson drops that back to Adelius. Adelius shoots. That was blocked by Clark. Chips it into Stankoven, looking rink wide for Connor Bedard. Who didn't play nearly as much in that second period, but penalty trouble for Canada. If Bedard's next point is a goal, he'll break one record and tie 2 others for Canada.
I'm pretty sure he'll get there eventually, even if it's not this game. There you see the pass. That's well done by Gunther. You're right. The Mastro keeps it in, bypasses Oscarson, doesn't go right down the board, so Gunther can do something with it. And that is a huge start to the period for Canada. Just to alleviate some of the tension that was building in the second period.
Set the crowd off again. Canadian players to a man have talked about the enthusiasm of these Halifax crowds.
Not just the Canadian guys, talk to the Austrians or the Germans.
Now Gaucher spins and shoots. Picked up by Hines. And big crowds for every game. Now a backhand shot by Gaucher, steered over by Lindblom. Dean on it. Native of Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. Actually born in Grand Prairie, Alberta. But grew up in Newfoundland. Osman plays it down to Elias Pettersson. So what do they do with the jerseys in Vancouver if you have 2 Elias Petterssons? Remember when they had 2 Greg Adams? Greg A. Adams and Greg C. Adams?
Do you go the middle initial or just give number 40, and whoever comes after him gets the Elias Pettersson as well?
Back around Engstrom. Throws that rink wide to Lysell. David Lysell moves in. And watched there by Allen. Second period, by the way, the best period of goaltending we've seen from Canada in this tournament. Village was spectacular. Big hit by Doc. He's hurt.
Oh, no.
Doc injured.
It's his shoulder. His arm.
And you can hear him screaming as...
Oh, no.
He's going right down the tunnel to the Canadian dressing room. His brother, Kirby, was the captain of the 21 Canadian junior team, was injured in the last pre-tournament game, broke his wrist. Simone Robertson works in. Shoots, just missed far side.
Robertson can really shoot. I was watching him in warm-up. He's got great velocity on that wrist shot.
So you got Noah Stavchuk, you got no Doc. IHF rosters are 2 bigger than the NHL. You got 20 skaters instead of 18, so Canada's got 13 forwards and 7 D-dress. Moran shoots, that was blocked by Wright. Picked up by Gunther. Up to Hoffman. And now Jansen back with it. Picked up by Del Mastro. And Gunther chips it down. Neil Carlson back with it. Lead pass to Roseanne. Isak Roseanne moves in. Poke check by Del Mastro. Roseanne stays on it. Del Mastro stays on him. Knocked away by Bedard. He was almost off to the races. Bistad. Poke check behind the net by Zellweger. And now Bedard races to it. Has a quick look. Goes up off the boards and down, and icing called against Canada. But the focus on the injury to Colton Dock.
You unfortunately could hear him. He goes into the boards heavily. And his right arm limps right away. It's tough to hear. It's tough to see.
You had 3 shoulder operations, you know that.
I know what that feeling looks like. Feels like.
Well, Bedard going after it. 9 up there by Schoholm. Picked up by Stankoven. Stankoven bumps it up. Ostlund picks it up. He's got Lekaramaki streaking ahead. Ogren looks for Lekaramaki. The pass out of his reach. Allen goes back and pokes that away. Lead pass finds Gaucher. Sandin Pellikka lost his stick. Penalty coming down to Sweden. That'll be a holding call on Sandin Pellikka. And Canada will get the power play. Bedard went off on a change. He comes right back out.
Nice job by Gaucher keeping his feet moving. If you let Pellikka pin you into the boards, there's no penalty, but he chips it in deep and watch him keep his feet moving, keep working to try to get through and eventually forcing the interference to Pellikka. You could call a hold that right hand right here. Or you could call the interference right here as Gaucher looking for it. He gets it. So power play, which wasn't very dangerous last time out, gets another shot. A rare off power play where they don't generate chances or goals.
Wright, Bedard, Hoffman, Gunther the forward, Zellweger on the back end. Off the draw, Bedard pokes that down to Hoffman. Hoffman. Rink wide of Bedard. Slaps that back to Zellweger. For Bedard. Walks right in. Slides that down. Backdoor pass by Hoffman. Just missed Gunther. Back at the point. Zellweger. Zellweger to Gunther. Shoots. Stopped by Lindblom. Rebound in front. Hoffman bats at that. Puck still loose. Worked out by Gunther. Back he goes to Zellweger. Flips it across to Bedard. Connor Bedard. Back pass for Zellweger. Zellweger shoots, tipped wide by Wright. Bedard chips that back. Zellweger keeps it alive. Gunther back to Zellweger, shoots. Lindblom save. Rebound, Bedard. Moved that up to right. He couldn't reach it. Now Bedard back with it. Holds, fires. It was off Schoholm. Bedard back on it. Feeds that Rink White. Gunther is shot. Lindblom reaches across the blocker, knocks it up and out of play.
A sweeper by Gunther. Lots of good looks on this power play for Canada. And Lindblom with a nice stick save at the end. As Bedard finds this with a seam. Here's a sweeper. Almost knocks the stick out of his hand with that save. And they're going to keep the first unit out there for the second minute of the power play. Now, whenever it takes much energy when you have the puck, you're just moving it around, you're not chasing it yourselves. You want to be careful of fresh legs out there as Sweden will be pushing, looking for shorthanded opportunities.
Right. Wins that face-off back to Zellweger across to Bedard. In shoots. Lindholm makes the stop. Bedard got him for 3 in the semifinals at the under-18 in 2021.
And this is what's at stake for Connor Bedard. With his next point, he will tie the highest point total in any single tournament. Braden Shen, Dale McCourt.
That's the Canadian record. Forsberg has the single tournament record, 31 points. Here's Bedard, walks in, pulls, he's it back across to Gunther. And now Gunther bangs that back to Zellweger. In for Bedard. And Bedard directing traffic. Works in, drops it off to Othman. Back to Zellweger, shoots! And once again, Lindholm gets the blocker on that, puts it up and out of play. And now we'll get a fresh unit on the ice with 38 seconds to go in the power play.
Sweden doing everything they can to not let Bedard shoot the puck. They're really pressing up high on him, which leaves somebody else open. And this wrister from Zellweger, he's looking for a tip down. If Wright gets it, it's going to be a goal, but Lindholm punches it up into the mesh.
Now it's Gaucher, Fantilli, Waugh, Stankoven in the forward unit. And Clark is the man on the back end. Frank Clark feeds it back across to Stankoven. Feeds in front for Gaucher. That's kicked out by Lindholm. There's Milic with it. Leaves it back for Clark. 20 seconds to go in this Canadian power play. Fantilli winds through center ice. In comes Adam Fantilli with a head of steam. Fantilli still on it. Plays it across to Stankoven. Logan Stankoven. Back for Clark. To Stankoven. Walks in, slides that down. Goes a little back pass. Here's Fantilli with it. Fantilli shoots. Goes off the leg. Sandine Pellica steps out of the box. That's stolen by Gaucher. Wall in a backhand shot. Oh, what a stop by Lindholm.
Got to get a forward off the ice here if you're Canada.
Stankoven back with it. Feeds across. Fantilli fires. It looked like Lindholm got the tip of his glove on that. Back at center ice. Clark back with it. 5 shots for Canada on that power play. Clark in wires that one just wide. Knocked down again by Fantilli. Who finally throws it in deep, and Canada will complete the change. Beestead flips that back down the Canadian zone. Del Mastro turn. Pivots away from Beestead. Chips out ahead to Bankier. Up for Dean. Zach Dean. Bumped off the puck by Roseanne. Schaefer lost his stick. Dean on the forecheck. Beestead had the puck in his skates for a moment. Now moves it back away. Canada outshooting Sweden 10-0 in the third period. Leo Carlson spins back for Sweden. Jacob Noran moves it under Lekaramaki. And Zellweger has it back for Canada. Olin Zellweger. Plays for Everett for head coach Dennis Williams in the Western Hockey League. In comes Othman. Othman works in. Brings that around. Zellweger was waiting for it. The puck didn't get to him. Elias got crunched there by Wright. Now behind the goal, Othman feeds back in front. Gunther a chance. That rolled wide. At the point, Zellweger holds it. Plays it back in. Elias to the line again, not out. Held by Zellweger. Wright back into Othman. It rolls down to Lindholm. And he'll hang on to that. Brendan Othman, the 19-year-old from Pickering, Ontario, has another. And Canada's got a 4-1 lead at the World Junior Hockey Championship on New Year's Eve.
Trevor! Hey, Trevor! Want to play some chow?
Chow? Be right down.
Let's go.
Kel.
Chow? Chow? Chow?
Chow? Heck yeah.
Abby! Chow! 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 Chow!
Chow.
Rated E10 for ages 10 and up.
Pedro Pascal stars in the new HBO original series based on one of the most acclaimed video games of all time. The Last of Us streams Sunday, January 15th, only on Crave. Puck rolls to the side of the goal. Bedard after it. Stankoven with a jam play at the side of the net. Bounced by Hines and back down the ice. Hines scored a big goal for Canada in the opening period to make it 3-0. Lead pass. It was offside. It's called at the Swedish line.
It's been the big guys getting it done again for Canada.
They'll take this face-off, by the way, all the way down to the Canadian zone.
Because the outlet pass was below the goal line. Connor Bedard's dad working the gum, wearing out the path as well. Tom is...
It's his birthday today.
Yeah, happy birthday. He's being able to enjoy this. Although as a parent, we can all empathize his nervous energy.
Connor describes his dad as the hardest working member of the family. His dad's a logger, up at 3, 4 in the morning to get to work. Lysell pokes that in. Dean couldn't knock it out in the rain with a long shot. That was blocked. And now picked up by Hines. Puts it high in the air, bounces ahead to Fantilli, and bounces that back down to the Swedish zone. Schaefer. Got it taken by Engstrom. Lead pass for Lysell. Played for the Vancouver Giants last year. That pass misfired. And the New Year's Eve party is starting early here in Halifax. Goal from the side of the goal. Milic bats at that. And he's finally got it.
Milic has pleasantly not had to do too much in the third period. This is how you play with a lead. You go out there, you get another one, you extend it, you play in the offensive zone. If you don't score on power plays, more time that you're not on your heels defending. The inevitable score effects usually kick in against a good opponent.
This tournament back here for the first time in 20 years. Played here in 2003. Adelius shoots. Goes over the glass and out. That year was a miserable one for Sweden. Crashed out in the preliminary round. Wound up in the relegation round, which at that time was for the bottom 2 teams in each group. The top 3 teams made the playoffs. The first team got a bye. So Sweden wound up in the relegation round. Lost the game in it. Had to win their last to stay up in the top group for the following year. And that prompted a summit on the part of the Swedish Ice Hockey Federation to evaluate how their system was working, the relationship between the federation and the pro teams. But 1 gold medal for Sweden in the last 40 years in the tournament. 10 second place finishes in that time. Rosea works in. He was poke checked there by Del Mastro. Hoffman looks ahead for Gunther. And a bouncing puck at center ice moved aside by Odelius. Sweden 3rd last year, won the bronze medal game against Czechia. 2 bronze medals the last 3 years.
Escape by Allen there, stepping on it, make sure they couldn't get in the zone.
In comes Allen with Bedard and Waugh. Allen taken down. Waugh down to Korchinski. Brings it back around. Stankoven stepping up. That third attempt by Elias Pettersson can get out. Back at the point is Korchinski. Across he goes to Bedard. Bedard has to go off a stick. And now at the line, held by Korchinski, who puts it back in deep. Stankoven goes after it. Elias Pettersson to the line again, not out. But this time it finally bounces to Oscarson. And he slides it across to Simone Robertson. 8.5 to go in the third period. Allen kicks it down. Bouncing puck in front of the chest, put wide by Ostlund. Engstrom plays it back around to Ostlund. Oh, Ostlund, a Buffalo first-round pick, slides that back to Engstrom. Engstrom holds around Bedard, shoots! And Milic makes the save. 8:16 to go here in the third period. New Year's Eve at the World Juniors. Never gets old.
Every night, while they chase victory, On the Fly chases every big moment of every game. Get all the highlights and preview tomorrow all in one show. On the Fly, after the games on NHL Network.
It's not just that they're the best. It's that they're all here together to bring out your best.
Not sure where to start with ED treatment? HIMS makes it simple with a 100% online process. First, complete a simple clinical intake. Then, we match you with a licensed provider who can determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your order ships discreetly to your door for free. With proven ED treatments that have helped thousands of guys, real results are closer than ever. Just go to 4hims.com.
It was unthinkable for the last 30 years that someone would approach Peter Forsberg's record in the 1993 World Junior Championship, 31 points in 7 games, 10 against Japan. But could Bedard do it? It's 14 away.
It's the Canadian record is 18. We're asking to get 14 more.
No one's come close to Forsberg's record since then.
No.
Like, not even remotely. Ogren across the line. That was offside. Ogren with it. Shoots. Off leg into the corner. Ostlund and Ogren crisscross. Now picked up by Dean. Jack Dean. Cross ice pass for Fantilli. And Araya knocks that down. Gaucher moves across the line. That play is offside.
So it's been an awake bench here in the third period for Canada. Stopchuk out of the game after his kneeing penalty. And Doc leave the game with a shoulder injury. So they're down to just 11 forwards. But they're still trying to roll through 4 lines. So that means someone's going out of rotation. You got to be sharp, listen to your coaches, calling your men. Lots of communication on the bench, as well as with the guys making changes. Make sure everyone's on the same page. I don't know if the coach is calling anything out. His voice is a little scratchy the last few days.
Boy, Dennis Williams has really been struggling. There's been a bug going around. Sweden had a couple of players in their last game unable to play. Leo Carlsson couldn't start the game, and Lysell couldn't finish it. One of the Swedish team members asked me, why do you say under the weather instead of sick? I don't know. Bedard down to Korchinski. Shoots, goal! Bedard! The assist that ties the single tournament and all-time point record on the goal by Korchinski. Korchinski's got his first.
Quick release wrist or another turnover by Sandin Pellikka, just chucks it around the board after the forecheck. Bedard holds on to it. Korchinski activates down and he catches Lindbaum thinking about the guy in front of the net. Movement to his right just fractionally, leaving over the shoulder short side open, and Korchinski says, you know what, Connor, you're not the only one who could go short side on a goaltender from a tight angle.
So with that assist, Connor Bedard ties the Canadian single tournament point record, 18, set by Dale McCourt in 1977, equaled by Braden Shen in 2011, and it ties Eric Lindros's all-time Canadian point record, 31, set in 3 World Juniors, 1990, 91, and 92.
So the games played obviously matters, as Lindros played in 3 tournaments. This is just Connor Bedard's second, and draws in, moving his feet, likes to work the top of the offensive zone for good reason. And at this point, even he knows where he is on the all-time charts.
Roseanne centers a piece that puts that wide. A 5-1 lead, 7 to go. Carlson a shot. Miller's got an arm on that. Kevin Korchinski from Saskatoon. Another one of those Seattle Thunderbirds. He was traded there by Prince Albert this year. Lead pass to right, moving in. Poke check there by Janssen. White stays on it. Roseanne, bumped by Othman. And Del Mastro skips it back down to the Swedish zone as it's knocked away by Lindbaum. Engstrom turns it over. Gunther to Clark. Sees it back in front of the goal post. Goes back here. Schaefer back in for Bankier. And Reed Schaefer throws that back in front. Here's Ogren with it. chip back into the Swedish bench. Yep. It's a 5-1 lead for Canada on a record-tying night again for Connor Bedard.
I'm Cole Caulfield, and I played college hockey.
I'm Adam Fox, and I played college hockey.
I'm Jake Gensel, and I played college hockey.
I'm Johnny Gaudreau, and I played college hockey.
Whether you are a fan or a player, nothing compares to college hockey.
What does the future of strength look like? It's a personal trainer that assesses your strength and adds weight as you progress. It's dynamic weight that adjusts for you in real time for a more efficient workout. Come on! And it's a roster of coaches that motivates you to get stronger, faster. The future is strength you can feel and results you can see. And you can only experience it on Tonal.
Connor Bedard has not yet been drafted. You got to go back to Robert Reichel to find a draft-eligible players having a tournament like this. And there is the puck that tied 2 records. So he tied the all-time goal record the last game, 14. Now he's tied the single tournament point record and the career point record for Team Canada.
So this next one's a goal. He'll be in business.
It'll never happen. But imagine if he played with 2 more.
That's no chance.
Centering pass. That missed Oscar Pettersson. Sandin Pellikka with it. Watched there by Schaefer. And Waugh goes to it. Joshua Waugh puts that back down to the Swedish zone, and hustling after his Schaefer. Ties up with Elliott. Xavier lost his stick. Crowd now serenading Lindblom.
Lindblom talked about the loss to Canada at the under-18s. I thought he'd be much more prepared for Canada, Bedard, and everybody else in this game.
5 to go here in the 3rd period. If this holds, Finland will play Sweden in the first quarterfinal game on Monday. That'll be in Moncton at noon local time, 11 a.m. Eastern. That'll be followed by Czechia and Switzerland here in Halifax at 2:30 local time, 1:30 Eastern. Then it's USA, Germany, and Moncton, and the nightcap Canada, Slovakia here in Halifax at 7:30 Eastern. Pettersson shoots. That was blocked by Gaucher. Lysell swings back. Flushed there by Mateer. And Jack Mateer gets into him. Fantilli takes that back down to the Swedish zone. Here's Carlson with it. Rink wide pass for Beasted. Looks at for Rosea. Back at the point is Engstrom. Engstrom got bumped along the boards. Picked up by Clark. Waugh banks it back out. Engstrom fires that back around. Beasted waiting for it. Poke check by Stankoven. Clark looks rink wide and finds Korchinski. Whistles that back down to the Swedish zone. Bedard in the forecheck. Knocks that free for Stankoven. Carlson lines out of the zone, plays that for Beasted. Likely the top 3 draft picks in the upcoming NHL draft playing in this game is Bedard, Fantilli, and Carlson. Stankoven back across to Osman. And the long shooting knocked away by Lindblom. Here's Odelius with it. Rink wide for Ostlund. Hines goes back. And Wright banks it off the glass, looking for Osman. In comes Osman behind the Swedish defense. Osman for Genter. Swatted at by Lindblom. Bouncing puck. Lindblom's got it. Coming up on 10 p.m. local time. Want to take a chance to wish all of you, Mike, you and your family, all of our crew, and all of you at home, a happy, safe, and healthy 2023.
Echo those sentiments. Everybody watching across Canada. He'll be celebrating New Year's a little earlier than we're used to.
They know how to do it here.
I look forward to finding out.
Oscar Pedersen chips that deep. Allen goes back after it. Long shot by Janssen. And the save is made by Thomas Milic. And Anchor having a word with the big Milton Oscarson.
Not to be lost in this very good game, 5-1. Thomas Milic.
In the second period.
Has been excellent. And Canada was looking for a goaltender to stand up. Say, you can count on me to make the saves I'm supposed to make. Gaudreau was better last game as well, but Milic with this performance looks like he's by the inside track on the net going forward.
Had a shutout against the Vancouver Giants in his last game before leaving for the Canadian camp. A real Seattle feel to this Canadian junior team. 4 Seattle Thunderbirds and a member of Seattle Kraken and Shane Wright. Batted ahead by Waugh. And they're going to call that a high stick with 2:32 to go here in the third.
You're seeing Joshua Waugh, who opened the scoring, get a lot of extra shifts here because he's smart enough to manage left wing, right wing, whatever you need him to do. He's good defensively, and he also can manage his energy. He's smart enough to not waste it, make sure he has enough in reserve to do whatever he needs to do depending on the situation. Such a smart player.
By the way, after the quarterfinals, they reseed the teams.
Okay.
It goes based on the standings.
You're going to give me more standings math to do? I like it.
No. Pretty easy.
Perfect.
Whoever was higher in the standings goes ahead. So if you were first, it's not points, it's based on where you were in the standings. So the 4 remaining teams will be ranked that way, and history teaches us there will be at least one lower seed beat a higher seed on Monday. At least one. Pedersen up ahead to Lizell. Lizell caught up by Mateer. And Korchinski banks out ahead. And the puck goes back to center ice. So the Swedes are going to take their first loss of this World Junior. Schaefer lost his glove on the play and his stick, who retrieves all that quickly. And Mateer plays it around to Schaefer. Gaucher chips out ahead. And back goes the Rayenford. And as Colton Doxo injured in this game, and we'll wait to hear what the definitive word is, but it did not look good. Goes to the side of the goal. Baker, a backhand shot. Lindblom leaps out and pounces on the loose puck.
Baker is still looking for his first in the tournament. Hit the crossbar already once in the third period. That's another pretty good opportunity. And now with just, don't know what's going on with Doc, but when Ostapchuk gets back, maybe just 12 healthy forwards, everyone's going to get a regular shift for Canada heading into the quarterfinals. Dennis Williams done a nice job, though. He's made some adjustments as the tournament's gone along. Didn't panic after the opening night loss to Czechia.
Tilly knocks that back, goes between the Canadian defenders as Hines goes back. Tyson Hines has goals in back-to-back games for Canada. The big scoring defenseman in the Quebec League, 9 goals this year for Sherbrooke, one of the top teams in the Quebec Major Junior League. Final minute now of the third period. Adelius up for Lekkerimäki. Holmgren shoots to finish the save, and the rebound knocked away by Fantilli. Here's Adelius with it. Sandin Pellica long shot, that goes wide. Hines skates by it. And we'll let the people of Halifax take into the new year. Straight victories, and now it's on to the quarterfinals against Slovakia.
Party kind of night, party kind of vibe. And Team Canada came out and gave the crowd plenty to cheer about. Right from the get-go, you could tell they were dialed in. Thomas Milic had himself a fantastic evening. Set himself up well going into the quarterfinals.
On a night when Connor Bedard ties the single tournament.
We are so proud to show the World Juniors and to see Canada and its fans loving it the way that they do. Just beautiful. On the Fly starts now. Happy New Year! Don't worry about that. Welcome to On the Fly. I'm Tony Luffman, and I'm so pumped to have you with us to celebrate the dawning of a new year. 2023 just minutes away, hours. Bottom line, we got a lot of hockey in between now and then. Let's check in. Our first look featuring